niches that are residential. So the premise of this whole series has been that cap rates on apartments are squeezed, right? It's hard to get a good return on an apartment building of any size today because there's a lot of money chasing that asset type. Single family homes in many areas that are high rental areas are facing the same thing where the multipliers aren't working as well. Investors are bidding up the price, or worse, the local owner occupants bid up the price, and they'll often pay more than a landlord will, and it's hard to get inventory. We have providers in lots of different states in the U.S. and several other countries who are saying inventory is tight. So that's why we started looking at, well, what are some other types of real estate to talk about? But there are some residential uses that do have high returns. Take, for example, manufactured housing, mobile homes.
Yes, I mean, that's huge. And this goes into a bigger concept of demographically what's going on, right? We talk about how wages have been stagnant and you've got a big group of baby boomers, many of whom haven't saved up for retirement. And so they don't quite have enough money to live maybe the lifestyle that they'd been living. And so they're going to sell their house and they need to buy a home, but they need to buy a more affordable home. They want to have the pride and freedom of ownership, and they want to stay maybe in an area closer to family that's more expensive. So what do? Mobile homes is a way that they can do that. And that's a great tenant to have because they're paying slip space, but everything else they act like an owner, and they are taking care of the property, and they're typically in it for the long term. So it's a longer term tenancy. It's just great. But the other thing is right now, it is also an extremely high yielding space to be. And if America continues to get struggles economically, it's probably going to be more demand as people try to move down the food chain into more affordable housing.
Well, what's great from the user's point of view, the tenant's point of view about mobile homes is it's the highest value per square foot, meaning for the size of a unit, a 1,500 square foot mobile home, what I pay in rent is a lot less than a comparable condominium, apartment, or rental house. And so I can get more bang for my buck, more square footage. There are some folks who can do very well in an 800 square foot apartment. But if you have kids, if you need more space, if you need just to be able to put your stuff somewhere, mobile homes are attractive to that. And because of that, the turnover isn't quite as high. Now, you talked about the economic model. It varies. There are some mobile home parks where the owner actually owns many, if not all, of the homes. And they're renting out a furnished, sometimes, or rent-ready space, which includes the space rental.
Right.
But many mobile homes, all you basically do is own the land and the hookups, and you have the right to put a mobile home there. Now, let's just talk quickly about mobile homes. We're definitely going to do a show in the future because we've got a bunch of folks in our world doing mobile homes, but we're not quite ready to go deeply into the subject. But there are essentially two types of homes. So the kinds that really become permanent structure, and then the ones that are truly mobile. And you can kind of tell the way that a park is structured from a legal point of view by whether or not it has license plates in the back windows. Right?
Yeah, right.
If it does, that tells you that those are DMV registered. Right?
Trailer parks.
Trailer parks, right. So, but today the variety is huge. And some manufactured housing is quite nice. So it isn't all low end. But what it is the economic model is a portion of the rent goes to you as the park owner. But most of what they're paying is for either financing the home, or if they own the home outright, then you are the lion's share of what they're paying out every month, and it's usually fairly small. So there's not as much default, and tenant-landlord laws are a little different. If somebody has their home on your space and they quit paying, you of course check state by state and county by county, it's often easier to get them out than even an apartment would be.
Yeah, I think the main thing is that both the demographics and the economics, especially in the United States of America right now, make this a really attractive niche, and that's why we're going to come back.